Hello everyone, I'm Darielle Snipes, and you're watching a special edition of CMSD TV Talk to the CEO, featuring District CEO Eric Gordon. Today we'll be talking about the Ohio Department of Education's report card, which was released this week. This year, the district received a D, up from an F from previous years. Joining me now is Eric Gordon to talk about the improvements here in the district. Welcome.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Nice to see you as well. So the district got a D, not an F, which they've gotten for many years, but you're still not celebrating. Tell me why.
Well, we're glad to be out of the F club, but our students and our community deserves an A, and we're going to keep pursuing it until we get that A. So we have progress that we're celebrating and excited about, but we're not going to celebrate a D. We're going to keep pushing, keep sending a message that we know that our community deserves better and that we can get there.
So tell me about the progress. Where is the district improving?
So we saw a lot of progress in this report card. One of the key areas is something called the Performance Index, which is a kind of a summary of all of the state testing. We, for the fourth consecutive year, have continuously improved on the Performance Index and got a D on that indicator this year. We also have a measure called gap closing, which is the gap between minority children and white children. We were an F 2 years ago, we were a D last year, this year we're a C, so we're continuing to make progress on that measure. For our K through 3 literacy, which is how well we do at improving literacy when kids are off track, we got a rating of D. 85% of our students met Ohio's third grade guarantee, meaning that they're reading at a sufficient level to promote to fourth grade, so we're excited about that as well. Our graduation rate continues to improve. We got a D there again, and set a new record for the district, 78.2%, and that is our 9th consecutive year of improvement there. And so all of that is what contributed to the D that we got on the report card. And again, really excited about the improvements because that's what we have to see, but really going to stay focused on the A that our community deserves.
Understand. So writing scores were emphasized last year. Are there any special areas that we're going to focus on this year?
So we're going to continue to focus on writing and writing well. That is the production of literacy or reading. If you can write, then you can read. And we're going to continue to focus on math and making sure students persist in difficult math problems. But really we're after kids doing complex academic tasks. We want kids doing real, authentic engagement, demonstrating that learning, and those things that create joyful and adventurous learning opportunities for our kids.
Right, so you just said it, joyful, adventurous learning, complex, rigorous academic learning. Tell me exactly what does that mean? Sure,
so we want our kids doing age-appropriate complex tasks. So for example, at our aviation high school, we have a student who earned her pilot license. That is a complex academic task. And to do that, there's a whole lot of math and science and other skills that you have to have. At Max Hayes, we have students who actually created synthetic gasoline, put it in their teacher's car. The teacher drove home and back to school. And they were successful, and so they know it through that demonstration of learning. But the complex academic task was creating the synthetic gasoline. At John Marshall IT School, students created an app that the Federal Bar Association of Northern Ohio uses. Created by students, right? That's a complex academic task. At our inquiry schools and our K-8 schools, students actually generated their own questions about the American Revolution and then studied and answered those questions. That's a complex academic task. At Wade Park, where I visited just yesterday, students were generating the many different ways you can demonstrate their understanding of numbers as part of their math class. That's a complex academic task. And so we want students not simply studying for a test, but doing the kinds of things that show that they know how to apply that knowledge, demonstrate that knowledge, and that creates a joyful and adventurous experience for them.
Great. Are there any other takeaways that you would like to talk about when it comes to the report card?
Well, not only did we see progress again this year, fourth year continually improving in PI, 9th year of increases in graduation rates, higher literacy rates, but also we have closed the gap with other urban districts in the state. So we used to be dead last all the time. We are not anymore. We are vying with the Columbuses, the Akrons, the Cincinnatis, the Toledos, and we're in the peer group now. Our goal is to put them behind us and to focus on the region and then focus on the state. But the fact that we are competing competitively with those groups is super important for us.
Great, and the work will always continue, correct?
That's right.
So turning to another topic, the district is resuming community meetings on the long-term future of academic programs and facilities. So what is the next stage when it comes to that?
So in September and October, we'll be resuming our community meetings around long-term facility planning. We'll be focusing on high schools and high school programming. We know that there are too many seats for the number of kids that actually live in the district. And so we're going to have to make some tough decisions about which programs and schools we continue to operate and which ones we do not. And we have to do it in a context of all of the schools in the city, charter and parochial included. And so we'll be focusing on that in community meetings in September and October, with the board poised to make a decision in November.
And so it's very important that people come to those community meetings so that they can have their voice heard, correct?
Absolutely. So we go into the first round of meetings in September with no ideas on the table. We really want to hear from the community. We then take those ideas and the feedback we got to propose recommendations that we'll put out in October. We will then bring all of that information to the board for leadership retreat that they hold, and then public participation in November before finally making a decision.
Great. Anything else you would like to communicate about the district?
Well, we're off to a great start in our academic year, so while we've got a promising report card being announced now, we're actually working on next year's report card, and we need to see continued improvement. And so really excited for our community, our kids and our families to stay engaged with their teachers and their schools.
Great. Well, thank you for the information, Eric.
Absolutely. Thank you.